Hello there. Do you want to be just like this comic panel and do some wacky things like this? Well, you've come to the right place, so let's just get into the build. Firstly, this build is based around the exotic Young Ahamkara's Spine, in which its exotic perk states increases Tripmine Grenade duration and blast radius, and ability damage grants Tripmine Grenade energy. But it also secretly comes with Fastball. For example here, I'm not wearing the exotic, and I don't have Fastball equipped. And if I throw a grenade, it only goes that far. But if I put on Younger Hamkara's Spine, and then throw it again, it goes much further. And the exotic also changes the self-damage. For example, if I'm not wearing the exotic and I detonate it, I take that much damage. But if I'm wearing the exotic and detonate it, I take no damage whatsoever. And as for the duration increase that it says, here are the two different durations. First is without the exotic, and second is with the exotic. It adds a whopping 20 extra seconds. And as for ability damage granting Tripmine Grenade energy, any kind of ability damage gives an instant third of your grenade back. So now that we know what our core exotic does, let's get into what you need for your subclass. So, you're obviously going to want to choose your solar subclass, and you're going to want to slot on Tripmine Grenade, because, you know, that's the grenade that Young Ahamkara's Spine works off. And to complement that, we're going to be using Knife Trick, which is the hunter melee that throws out 3 knives horizontally. We're using this because each knife is a different source of ability damage. So if you were to hit 3 different enemies with each knife, then you would get an entire grenade back, because you'd get a third on each knife. And because we're using our melee a lot, I've decided to slot on the Solar Fragment Ember of Torches, in which powered melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiant, which then perfectly feeds into our aspect to knock them down, which states, while radiant, final blows with your equipped throwing knife fully refund your melee energy. So if you're radiant and you get a kill with your fan knives, then you'll get the entire thing back immediately, which is amazing. And this aspect also helps out whichever super you choose. I've gone for Blade Barrage, just so I can get some more damage out of it. And just in case you miss your melee, or if it doesn't do enough damage to kill your opponent to proc knock them down, I've slotted on Gambler's Dodge, which states dodging near enemies fully recharges your melee ability, so you don't have to worry about that. And because we'll be dodging a lot, I've slotted on the solar aspect on your mark, because it states activating your class ability immediately grants maximum stacks, and each stack increases your weapon handling and reload speed, which is amazing. But I did mostly put this one on because it gives 3 fragment slots. So let's talk about what I filled those slots with. First off, I filled the first one with Ember of Ashes, which allows you to apply more Scorch stacks to targets. This is amazing because your grenade and your melee apply Scorch stacks, and if you manage to apply enough to cause an ignition, it counts as ability damage and gives you some Tripmine Grenade energy back. And to add to that even more, I've added Ember of Singeing, which states, your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets, and because everything you do will scorch a target, you will get your dodge back even faster, which lets you get your melee back even faster and proc some mods that we have on our cloak. And then another Scorch one that I've got on is defeating Scorch targets grants melee energy and creates a Fire Sprite from Ember of Searing. This is great because Fire Sprites give a bunch of grenade energy back, which we always want that, And we're always defeating scorched targets because that is what our two main abilities do, and it gives us our melee back even more. And for the last fragment slot, I added Ember of Resolve, which each grenade kill you get will heal you, which is amazing because this entire build is based around grenades and getting them back really fast. So if you heal for every grenade you get a kill with, then you will practically be immortal if you're pumping out enough grenades. And that's it for what the subclass needs, so let's get on to what mods I'm rocking with this, shall we? So first off, for the helmet, I suggest running double Ashes to Assets so you can get your super back very fast, and just a heavy ammo finder. As for your gauntlets, I suggest using Bolstering Detonation and Momentum Transfer, so every time you deal damage with your grenade, you get melee and dodge energy. And I also highly suggest using Firepower, so every time you get a grenade kill, you create an orb of power to use on the mods for your legs. But for your chest piece, I just suggest using whatever resists are best for the activity you're currently doing. As for your legs, I suggest Invigoration and Double Insulation, so every time you pick up an Orb of Power, you get some melee energy and quite a bit of class ability energy. And last but not least, the Cloak. For this I suggest Double Bomber and Distribution, so if you're missing just a little bit of grenade energy, you can top it off with Bomber, and Distribution will give you some melee back on top of that. And that's it for the build. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll enjoy using the build in-game. But we are 1 subscriber away from 100 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, it will really help me out. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.